Hi everyone from the VOD. This is a tutorial that I'm making live for the Big 20 to hopefully help you get through this game with like easy strats. This is mostly aimed at like beginners, people who have barely played the game, don't know most of the speed strats. I'm gonna try to like kind of keep it easy. I'm not gonna recommend any like stupid strats, hopefully. So a few notes about this. Obviously this is full game, any percent, scroll glitches are allowed, although I'm mostly not going to be covering those with one exception. We'll get there when we get there. I'm playing on a practice ROM that I made. It has a few features that might be useful. You can skip the intro, you can pause, hit select. There's a few features like selecting the stage, although it's a bit buggy. If you go through a stage after selecting it, some entities don't exactly behave the same after you load it. So if you want to practice stage 6, for example, make sure to load stage 5 and then make a save state before stage 6. You can select some stats, you can set some memory watches, you can enable a room timer, there's a scroll glitch practice tool, an input display, and a Dracula tool, but you're not going to be using this one. Alright, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. I'm hopefully going to be showing a lot of backups, because I don't think this run is actually that difficult. The problem is that this is a pretty difficult game to improvise in, so my personal suggestion would be to take that extra bit of time to learn how to recover from things going off script, because if you try to just kind of not plan around things going wrong, you might end up getting stuck in sections for a few minutes. So, with that being said, let's just jump into it. Level 1 is relatively straightforward. As soon as you start the game. Oh yeah, a few basic mechanics, by the way. Walking is the same speed as jumping. When you jump, you don't lose any frames. When you whip, you're kind of stuck on the ground for a bit, unless you just kind of jump cancel the whip, and the earlier in the jump you whip, the less frames you lose on the ground. If you press jump and other action on the same frame, you get this backward jump, which is never going to be useful in this kind of route, but just so you know. And that's kind of that for the basic mechanic. On the first screen, just walk. Or jump. You can mess around however you wish. Just don't lose time here. You want to jump right into this castle, because it's a little bit faster. The optimal spot to jump from is right here. Just about. Jump into it. I'll make a safe state right here. To deal with these zombies right at the start, honestly, what I recommend doing for a beginner is just kind of watching how many zombies spawn. You could see either 1, 2, or 3 zombies. If you see more than one, I recommend just whipping. If you see just a single one, you might be able to jump over it if you feel comfortable. But I don't recommend trying to do anything more complicated than that, because the alternative is possibly a bit tricky and you might take knockback and lose time. Try to get the whip upgrade if you don't get it from that candle. Let's see if I can get the single zombie again. Bit tricky. Whatever. If you don't get it there, you can get it off of one of the high candles, basically. You can jump over that one. Let's say I don't get it. You can just get it here. There we go. You want to remain with the short whip for now, although I kind of recommend getting long whip eventually, but for level 1 you really don't need to. You can jump over these panthers like this. These zombies are never going to spawn, you're never gonna see more than one zombie adjacent to each other, so you can always just kind of jump over them like that. But other than that, they don't deal much damage in the first place anyway, so you don't have to worry much about them. This rosary is completely useless. I mean, you can grab it if you want. It flashes the screen for a bit, but it doesn't actually do anything. Now, sometimes you might have gotten a stopwatch drop-off of the zombies. If you do, you don't actually need to do this trick that I'm about to show. Otherwise, you want to stand on this pixel and get hit by this bat. You have a bit of time to adjust yourself, so you can kind of move around a bit. I use my index finger to just kind of make lighter taps on the D-pad here. But it is the pixel that you want to stand on. And as long as you get hit on this pixel, it will always drop a stopwatch. So long as you didn't let the demo play, and so long as you didn't get any other item drops in stage 1. If you don't get the stopwatch, I wouldn't try to get it again. Let's say you just stand on the wrong pixel. You can retry it. You can stand on this pixel again, and you should get it. But honestly, wouldn't recommend obsessing over this. You can try different strats later if you don't get it. The stopwatch allows you to do a different route, but I guess I'll try to show both, just for completeness. Either way, once you take knockback around this pixel, you can do a pseudo buffer strat to make this bat boost easier, just like that. So the way this works is as soon as you land whip, hold right, make a jump right about here, and then when you land, whip buffer again, and then jump forward. So once again at full speed, as soon as you get hit, hold right, whip there, as soon as you land, jump there, whip, and then jump. I think this is a bit easier than timing it manually, but if you fail it, then you will have to basically just kind of hang on the ledge and go for it manually. Let's say you just fail the jump, for example. Then you can stand on this ledge. The way I like to do it is to stand here. As soon as you see the bat spawn, back off a bit and then jump forward. That takes a bit of practice. It's definitely a bit of a tough trick. But it's definitely worth it over just kind of going down here, even if it takes a few tries. Because you're skipping this entire section, you're doing an entire screen. You can hold right through the screen if you want. You can actually dodge that fishman if you didn't just kind of stop, but yeah, that's a pretty long screen. So okay, moving on. Hey Lack, hey Dragon Dame. I'm making a tutorial. Alright, I'm gonna make a save state at the beginning of the screen. This is the screen where the boss is going to be fought at. Okay. So, I think the simplest way to fight this boss, if you have a stopwatch, I'm going to try stopwatch strats first, or to show stopwatch strats first, and then what people should probably be maining for something like this, because you don't want to rely on actually getting the stopwatch off that bat. But if you get the stopwatch, you can do this. Jump over that zombie, get a potion, keep holding right, just clunk off. And then you have a few options here. The fastest strat would be to stand on that middle step. As soon as the bat moves, you can move the step up, and then you can try for a crit, or as soon as the bat approaches... maybe I should change my hotkey so I can actually make a save state in the middle of this. Just a second. In-game menu. Cool. That's not the right save state. Here. Just for completeness. Again, hold right. Oh, whoops. For some reason, the menu didn't open. Oh, well. Okay, I can make the save state right here, actually. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so middle step. As soon as the bat moves, you move one step up. And then you can use the stopwatch and kill the bat right here. If you're a bit slow, you can try to chase him a bit. I recommend timing the whips instead of mashing, by the way, personally. Another strat, if you don't like, because the problem about the strat is that once the bat goes past you, you have to press up and B pretty much on the same frame. You can press up one frame before B, but if you do that wrong, someone is actually going to climb a step. And you'll get hit by the bat, and then you'll take knockback, and then you'll have a lot of damage left. So an easier way, actually, is to just climb all the stairs all the way up after the bat moves. So you're gonna get on this ledge, turn left, and then use the stopwatch, and then kill the bat like this. If you're fast, you can kill him. Otherwise, Sticky might hit you, and then you can chase him, but he'll usually have very little health left. So that's stopwatch strats. That's what I would recommend. If you don't have it, this is what I would actually recommend maining if you're completely new to this. Get the axe right here. There's a few ways to get this axe, but You could get it with a jump like this if you want to be really fast. You could stop and do a neutral jump. It doesn't actually matter. With the stopwatch, it's important that you never let go of right. Important detail that I forgot about, sorry. But because the number of frames that has elapsed affects the bat's patterns. But with the X, it's not so important. What you want to do after you grab the X is make sure you have enough hearts. If you're low on hearts, there is a candle right here that has a big heart. And if you really need, there's also one over here. But after you get it, get the X. Big heart, this should be enough. Hopefully that's good enough. Okay, so you can pick up the double shot. Let me make a better save state, actually. But the strat to use the axe on the boss is... Okay, let's make it here. Break this block, which contains a double shot. A double shot allows more of your sub-weapons to be on screen at the same time. So with a single shot, you can only have one axe on screen, because if you try to use the item again, it will just whip. If you use it if you have a double shot, then you can have two on screen at the same time. Don't actually collect it yet. Wait until after the bat has moved, and then collect the double shot. And that should manipulate the bat to go to your right here. So you can finish him off. This is a pretty easy strat. There's nothing tight in this. Just a matter of doing it right. This way, and then you can kill them. And then you should hopefully have enough hearts. And then you can just grab the orb. Make sure when you're grabbing the orb, you have as few hearts as possible, because every leftover heart is going to cost 8 frames on the US version. So definitely make sure to minimize that. Now, for level 2... I'm going to also show... Level 2 is affected by this weapon you have. I'm going to show what you would do with the axe first. And then I'm going to go through this level again to show what you would do if you had the stopwatch, which is faster. If you have the stopwatch, this level is a bit faster. But it does make level 1 more difficult. You have a few options here. You could get this cross, throw an X at that X-net, and then use the cross to kill these enemies. I don't like that very much. With the X, I would personally just jump and throw the X there, and then just kill them with a whip. And then you can keep going. For this screen, there is a few options as well. If you want to be fast, let's reload it. Oh yeah, right, my binding is different now. If you want to be fast, the best way is to jump right there, which delays the bat's swoop. And then you can jump over him again. Another way, this one is a little bit more tight, and it's basically the same speed, is to jump right there, and then jump again from that block. If you don't like any of those options, just whip the bat. And then just make your way through the end of the screen. Make sure to not slide off this platform. That feels pretty bad. Alright. Now for stage 5. I would recommend just jumping at the start of this stage and going under this Medusa. If you don't like it, you can make the jump over the Medusa like that, but I think it's more tight. Just make your way through the screen, really. If you have the X, you don't actually need hearts at the moment, but if you want them, there's a big heart candle right there, which you can actually grab a little bit faster by, once again, in this game, whipping in midair on landing is faster than just doing a full grounded whip, so this is faster. Then make your way through this screen. There's a few options here. This is going to be a damage boost / clip to get up onto this top block. The only way I would recommend to do this is to whip here, jump over the Medusa, jump here, wait a bit, jump, and then turn left and jump. This is pretty easy overall. You can also just wait instead of whipping. The whip is just a buffer. And then go. So, alright. Oh, I don't know what I was doing there, to be honest. At this point, for most people, if you have at least 8 hearts, I would recommend starting to try to get a long whip. So a long whip spawns from a candle if you have at least 8 hearts. In this case, I had the ability to get a triple shot, so that got prioritized. But the next candle I hit that would drop something useful is going to be a whip. Then for this screen, what I recommend doing is waiting until you're right about here. So you've kind of spawned the first crusher and the second one also got spawned. Doing a whip buffer, walk against the wall and then jump. And then maybe stutter a bit before going through this last crusher, because if you're too quick, these crushers kill in one hit. So if you're too quick, you're just going to die. Also, don't forget to get that holy water in that candle. That's gonna be useful for Medusa. Now, we're not showing this scroll glitch through this room. Yeah, definitely don't forget that holy water. It's pretty important. Whoops. That is indeed too fast. Like that. And there we go. Now, there's that damage boost right here. Oh, I guess I'm getting a long whip here. Let's wait for it to despawn. Normally, you wouldn't hit this candle. This damage boost doesn't say that much, but it's pretty convenient because it allows you to not deal with these bone pillars. Okay. So what you do is right about here, you would jump forward and then jump again to damage boost. A little bit easier to do this, you could jump right and get it, but you have to be careful because this bat can drop an item sometimes. And it can be a cross, which can get rid of your sub-weapon. If that happens, you can try to fight Medusa with just your whip. It's not impossible. And then there is a backup holy water in stage 3 that I will show. But once you have made your way through this screen, Medusa might not behave the same, but... oh, one thing I forgot to mention. After you do this damage boost, make sure to throw holy water at one of these bone pillars, because it will give you the ability to collect a double shot on the next candle. The way you can collect double shot is pretty weird in this game. Basically, the intended way is that you have to hit 10 things, such as candles or enemies, and then the next time you drop a candle, it can drop a double shot. But some enemies are kind of glitched, so if you throw holy water onto them, you get the ability to get double shot immediately. So just throwing that holy water on that bone pillar is going to give you the double shot. So once you make your way through up to this room, I recommend destroying this candle, which will give you the double shot. And then once you get to the Medusa, the kill is pretty simple. I recommend doing this kind of buffer. Walk up all the way up until the door, then back, and then right about there, throw holy water and then do 3 whips, and then holy water again, then 3 whips, and then holy water and then 3 whips. That's it. Medusa is pretty simple with the holy water. If you have to fight her whip only, say you missed a sub-weapon, I would recommend just kind of doing a few whips, then doing a damage boost. I think now you should be able to jump over her. You can move away here. Here should be pretty easy to jump over her. She decided to stop. That's okay though. She doesn't deal much damage. Then you can whip her down. And then in stage 3, there's holy water that I'll show. By the way, don't grab the orb that way. I recommend just letting it fall onto you. In this game, you might think that the fastest way to end stages is to grab the orb as soon as it spawns, but it's actually not true. The conditions for a stage to end are for you to grab the orb, for you to be on the ground, and for you to not be in the middle of any animation. So you actually, if you really want to be optimal, you grab the orb and then you make sure that you're already like falling towards the ground at the high speed that you can, but that's pretty complex and it doesn't actually save that much, so I recommend just like letting it fall onto you for simplicity. Oh, I have the holy water on me actually. I can use the practice ROM to get rid of it, because when you whip a candle that has the same sub-weapon that you have, it won't actually drop that sub-weapon, it will drop like a heart or something else, but the candle that has the holy water is this one, so you can get it back here in case you missed it. Alright, so now I'll show stage 2 again with the stopwatch in case you decide to go through that route. Yeah, the save state, cool. Let's kill this bat. You can do that ledge kill at the top again. It's not much slower. Alright. Make a safe state. Now, climb the stairs up and then jump and activate stopwatch. And then go through the stairs. If you want, you can also use the stopwatch here and then go through the stairs, but that's actually 2 frames slower because it doesn't let the in-game timer tick another unit, which will cost time at the end of, or could cost time at the end of the stage. But yeah, in any case, go through this room with the stopwatch. Then this room is exactly the same. You can go through it however you want. Jump, jump, and jump. Now, you need at least 6 hearts coming up. So, you should try to hit some of these candles and try to get heart drops. Because you do want at least 1 additional heart. Do not kill this candle because it has a dagger. Be careful. So yeah, try to collect at least 1 heart from here. And then you can get the big heart here for the remaining hearts. You can also get long whip here if you already have 8 hearts. Hey, Aramus, thank you for running sub. Appreciate it. Then you can do the damage boost the same way over here. Oh yeah, for people skipping ahead, who didn't want to watch the extracts, there's that damage boost up here. You can do whip buffer, jump over this Medusa, jump over here, wait, and then jump up. It's very lenient, and it's the only way I recommend doing that. Oh yeah, you can whip that Medusa head in case it can get in the way sometimes. Alright, and now that you have the stopwatch, you can skip the crushers this way. Just activate the stopwatch as you jump up, which will also get you the holy water. And then you can just walk through. You can do a damage boost here. Once again, the easier way to do that damage boost would be to jump to the right at the end. Maybe another safe state. So jump left and then jump right, like that. And then make sure to use holy water on this bone finger right here. Also like to jump right there. Because sometimes you can get hit if you don't. Then get up. And then the end of the level is exactly the same. So get the double shot over there. Go through Medusas. Oh, this candle has a big heart in case you need it. Then for this fight, walk to the door, stop here, holy water, whip 3 times, holy water, whip 3 times, then holy water and whip 3 times. Try to toss out as many hearts as you can, and then you're good. Okay, I'll make a save state starting stage 3. At this point, the stopwatch and X route will converge. And yeah. Moving on. Okay, so if you have a long whip, killing this Fleeman is easier, so you can just kind of whip it. If you have a short whip, killing this Fleeman is a 3-frame window, you gotta jump from about there. Easier way to deal with it would be to just let it jump over you and throw holy water here. Sometimes this Fleeman won't be killed, and you will have to deal with it. Oh, did I just save state? Oh. Oh, shoot. Actually, I think I can just reset stage. There we go. Cool. Because I think stuff will behave fine here. You can throw another holy water to deal with it. And then you can do a small damage boost up here. With that Fleeman. That one actually doesn't save any time. I think it's like 1 second. So if you are not comfortable with the damage, you can totally just kind of try to skip it. That skeleton might be a little bit difficult to deal with though. The damage boost itself from the Fleeman is very easy. You just have to walk to the candle, turn right and jump. But it does cost you a bit of health. So yeah, the skeleton can hit you anyway, so it's a bit tricky to deal with still. Whatever way you use to get up here, I recommend getting this candle. The fastest way to get this candle would actually be to throw a holy water shortly after your damage boost. Or you can wait until you've gotten out of the sort of clank animation and then whip it. But in any case... Alright. This is one of the more difficult screens in maybe the game. But this definitely can give people some difficulty. I think the easiest way to go through this screen... Again, enemies in this game in general are mostly based off of a room count, a room timer. So how many frames have elapsed since the start of the room. And if you're willing to learn a bit of a specific strat, which I can kind of recommend taking the time to do, a very easy way to go through the screen is to simply, as you're going into the screen, hold up and right. And it's very important that you hold up and right, because the direction you hold actually changes how much time it takes for Simon to grab the stairs over here in the stair break. So hold up and right. Then hold right to continue falling off the ledge. And then this skeleton should always jump forward, so you can whip it. So long as you held up and right here, you never let go of right and clunked. The skeleton should always jump. Then, as you make your way through that screen, you can try to hit that bird with a holy water, although it's not necessary. If you hit it, you can try to jump up this platform to skip the stairs. That's a 6-frame window. So again, clunk off, whip, jump toss holy water, jump up. I missed it. If you missed it, you can go back to the start of the level and get the holy water from the backup candle. Then throw another holy water right there, throw another holy water right there, and then jump off this ledge into this corner. You're kind of safe into this corner so long as you have a holy water covering you. Sometimes the skeleton can try to throw a bone onto you. If that happens, it's very hard to demonstrate because that pattern is not too common. But if that happens, just back off into corner a tiny bit and the bone should hit the holy water flame. And then you can try to keep moving forward. But that's kind of the strat for the screen. And then at the very end, you can use a whip cancel to make the landing more smooth. Like this. That's a pattern you can walk under. And then you make your way to the end of the screen. If you don't hit the bird or you're not comfortable with the 6-frame window, let's see, missed him. You can just kind of walk the stairs up. And then you have to do the holy water toss a little bit late to cover that bird, because the spawns are a little bit different. But then you can just kind of finish off the screen in a similar way. Whip, jump over, walk the stairs, holy water. Oh, yeah, if you're late, that can happen. So be careful about that too. That might be a little bit too early. Oh, I guess it ended up being okay. Alright. Still a bit scary, but that's probably better than doing the faster strats, which just kind of imply dealing with a bunch of different RNG. That skeleton can sometimes stop in place and throw a bone, which you have to cover with a holy water, and then the birds can give a myriad of different patterns as well. So, okay. Moving on. Now you should have the axe. You got the axe from the candle on the very edge of the last platform in that screen. And if you have the axe, you can now actually get the cross, which is the sub-weapon that you actually want for this stage. So right about here, you can jump and throw an axe. And then you get the cross, which is Aramus Belmont's favorite weapon. If you want to normalize the RNG a little bit, because the skeleton at the end of this screen can sometimes throw a bone and hit you. One way to manipulate that skeleton to never hit you is to release right for a very small amount of frames. It has to be something like 1 or 2 frames. And if you do that, that skeleton should either always jump off or do a bone pattern that will never hit you. So again, release right very briefly. If you prefer, you can also do a jump whip to lose that amount of frames. But just releasing right is good enough. So you get the cross. And then you can make your way through the next screen. Holding up and right is slightly faster on the stair brick, by the way. It saves 2 frames. If you don't have the axe, which can happen sometimes, there is a rule in this game that's called the important item rule, which is where there can only be one item present on screen that is a big heart, a sub-weapon, a whip upgrade, and maybe some other items I'm forgetting. So that sometimes you might hit that candle and it just won't spawn the axe, or you might just miss the candle, forget about it. That axe can sometimes fall off the ledge under some specific circumstances, so it is totally possible that you won't have it here. So again, if you don't, it's no big deal. I still recommend getting the cross from this candle. Get up this ledge, then try to jump off and whip this candle. It is much easier with a long whip, although still possible even with a short whip. Let's see if I can do it. Whip level, it has 1. The skeleton got in the way. Yeah, so it can definitely get pretty tricky. Oh yes, if I have the holy water, good point, Aramus. If you have holy water, that's actually easier too. Like that. Easier than using the short whip. True, true. Okay, now moving on to this screen. Sometimes this bird can drop a sub-weapon that can kind of clear this bomb pillar, but obviously don't rely on it. What I would recommend doing, if you're really scared of this screen, just kill this bomb pillar. You can throw a cross to kind of speed up the kill early on, not at the end like I did. Oh yeah, this candle contains a big heart, so feel free to get it. This bomb pillar takes 6 hits to kill. And then you can use the cross to just kind of help better cover for the birds. You can take it slowly if you want to. This bomb pillar, you don't have to kill it. Jumping over bomb pillars is a 6-frame window. So if you feel comfortable with that, you can do that, and then make your way to the end of the screen. If you're feeling like doing something a little bit faster, you can try whipping this fireball on the way down from your jump. It's the second fireball. It always comes out at the same time if you hold right. And then, okay, in that case I hit the bomb pillar on the same frame I got hit, which results in a crit. So jump over it, and then try to walk back into it if you actually make it over the bomb pillar. You can try to damage boost right from the jump, like this. Or you can make it over and then walk into it. I don't recommend trying to make the jump from here, even though it's possible. Be careful though, because if you damage boost very close to the middle of the bomb pillar, you can actually get a damage boost that doesn't get you far enough. Let's see. Oh, I kind of screwed myself over here. Yeah, like that. Like that. So be careful. You don't want to damage boost that far left. More like here. Even farther, and then you hold left and boost over. Once you're over, you can throw a cross on landing to try help for these birds. Whoops, that's a bit too far. That's again a bit too far. That's a terrible save state. You can try to take it slowly with the birds if you're not comfortable, and then you can handle the bomb pillar in a similar way. And then make your way to the end. Now, for this bridge... this is a bit complicated as well, because enemies can have different patterns if you try to do this the faster way. But I guess if you don't want to learn anything specific and you're afraid of this screen, what I recommend doing is just killing all the bomb pillars here. So I can use the cross, kill this. And then take it slowly on the skeletons. They can push you off. You're actually safer on these platforms if you're towards the edge here. So if you get knocked back, you actually get sent back to the platform here. So the spacing kind of works out there. Easier to kill these birds with the whip right before they dive down, by the way. Or you can also just use the cross. That's a terrible throw. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not the cross after all. But you can jump over this one if you want, or you can kind of kill it. And then be careful. Definitely want to kill that bone pillar because it can throw a fireball from behind you and then it becomes pretty difficult to avoid. But then here at the end, it's a pretty straight shot to the end. You ideally want to get a double shot for these mummies so you can have more than one cross on screen at the same time. But the most important part is to have hearts on your cross. Once you make your way here at the end... For the mummy fight, the main glitch that we're going to try to exploit is the fact that when the mummies overlap, if you hit them with the cross, it deals a lot more damage. So go here to the left, destroy that block, which will give you a bit of health. Oh, that's... I messed up the save state. Okay, hang on, just a sec. I need to make my way back there. I'll show the faster way to this screen in a bit. This would be a faster strat, but I don't recommend doing that. To get a double shot, you would hit enough things with the cross throughout this level. Okay. Okay, so you want to stand right about here, right in the crack between this block, like these two blocks. And if you do that, the left mummy should always go past you. And then there's a few different patterns that they could do. If you don't want to spend too much time, just make sure you have enough hearts and toss enough crosses. Eventually they should overlap. You should be able to hit them. If you want to something a little bit more rigorous, you want to wait until this left mummy started moving. If you see it get past this column, go forward and throw a cross. That's your opportunity to kind of hit them when they overlap. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to get different patterns now that... Well, I can wait here. Okay, cool. Right before I spawn the boss. Sometimes they'll turn early. If they turn right here, try throwing crosses right after that mummy throws the bandage. And hopefully you'll have an opportunity for them to overlap. It's also possible that this left mummy turns around immediately and throws a bandage. Let's see if I get that pattern. Nope. Nope. Again, though, if the mummy goes past the column, you can start trying to throw your crosses. Need to wait. Nope. Okay, walk. If you see that immediate turnaround and bandage, walk right a little bit, go past that mummy, and the Alfred should actually cover you. And then the mummy should make its way towards the right and should be able to hit them as they overlap. So that's just kind of how you would handle all the 4 different patterns if you want to kind of have something that's a little bit more rigorous, I guess. The faster way to make it through the screen, and this would also manipulate the mummies, is to just kind of always do grounded attacks through this screen. And this is called the Ouija Wii Bridge. So what you want to do is kill these birds, then throw across, jump over that bone pillar. These birds should always down low like that. Then throw it again, and these skeletons should always jump forward. Make sure you're ripping them in the air without ever losing frames on the ground. Throw another cross right here. And then you can hug the right side of the wall, keep holding right, and then hold left and throw the cross right here. These mummies should always do that if you did the screen correctly. If you're short on hearts, you can also use some whips here and there. So you can throw across right there, jump above these birds. You can whip this fireball, for example. But ideally, you would want enough hit something so that you get a double shot. You can try to waste your hearts early if you see that you have too many and you're confident that you're going to be able to finish the fight with the amount that you have. And then back. Cool. Alright, that was level 3. Now, I've been recommending to get the long whip this entire time, and there is a trick in level 4 where if you have this short whip, you can more easily get a trick that saves 7 seconds. I don't actually recommend learning this trick. It's called cave skip. I don't recommend learning this trick if you're new to the run on a limited time frame. I'll show it for those who are interested, but I just kind of recommend going through this level normally. As soon as you fall, after you get up, so not during the clunk, after you get up on your feet, whip 3 times, whip that candle, that gives you the stopwatch. You can whip this candle, which has a big heart. Just keep going, jump over that pit and that bat. About this candle, oh, I need to make another save state. You want to whip the candle, which has the holy water. And there are a few oddities with that. Does that whip it? Yeah, okay, actually I need to roll the save state back a bit more. Whipping 3 times, by the way, is a way to just kind of allow you to walk on this platform by holding right without ever having to stop. Okay, let's make the save state right here, maybe. Alright, so this candle. Normally, if you just whip it, it contains the holy water, which you want to get. It'll just fall on this platform. But sometimes it'll just drop down, like this. Or even worse. Into the pit. What that is caused by is from the fact... Yeah, whip 3 times and hold right during those whips also. By the way, good point, Aramus. Don't just whip in place. What that is caused by is by the fact that falling sub-weapons ignore the camera scrolling. So, if there is collision right below this candle, the holy water will just fall to this platform. But if you're scrolling the screen while this is falling, then you're gonna scroll the platform below it, and it'll fall right through. So if you want to grab this holy water, you have a few options. Either whip it and just stop, and then collect it once it's fallen. Sort of like that. Or just whip this candle when you're up close, so that you collect it while it's falling. But definitely be careful about this, because you really want this holy water. If you don't get it, I kind of recommend just dying and doing this again. You will have to get your whip upgrade again. But I don't think it's worth trying to continue without the holy water. In any case, after you've acquired this, go through this platform. You have to crouch under these stalactites, jump up, wait here. As soon as the platform is a bit here, walk off and crouch under those as well. You can get a big heart here if you want. Jump over that. You can try to jump in holy water with that bat. If you miss him, just turn around and crouch. Or you'll probably end up getting hit, actually, I think. And then you can make your way through the end of the stage. So once you're here, jump about here, and then jump back. That's it. Now, if you don't have long whip, and you want to try cave skip. Again, I don't really recommend it if you're new to the run, but if you're interested, I can try to show it. So I will downgrade my whip. And reset the stage. Actually, no, you don't reset the stage, you stage select to 10. So, okay. The way this works is you still want to hold right, whip 3 times, get this candle, get this heart, make sure you're never losing frames. Now, you want to watch this fishman on the left. You have a 2-frame window to do this the easy way. And the 2 possible frames... Oh yeah, what you want to do here is stop time within a 2-frame window. I think I might have lost frames. I'll redo the save state, hang on. Might have lost frames when save stating. Okay, that should be good. So, the fishman... Okay, that's too late. The fishman... I think that's the good frame? I can't tell on this monitor, actually. Okay, that's definitely the good frame. You want it either to be that frame or that frame. So you want to watch the fishman's feet in relation to the candle. That's what I do, at least. And if you pause within this 2-frame window, what you can do is continue holding right, jump about here from this platform. That's pretty important that you jump from that spot. And then right about here, you stop time again. Oh, that's a frame late, actually. Never mind. I saw wrong. So jump from there, stop time right there, and then jump forward. Now you can make it on top of this ceiling if the bat is in a right position. One of the reasons why I don't recommend learning this trick is that if you're a beginner, it can be hard to gauge if the bat is in a good spot to actually be able to boost over. And what will end up happening is that you'll jump on the bat, but then it's not high enough, and then you'll just fall to your death and die. Plus, this is a 2-frame window, and it has some specificity to it. If you're feeling adventurous, you can go for this, but if you're new to the run again, I wouldn't recommend it. Once you're over here, then you can make some movement here. I think an easy strat through this screen is to walk off, throw holy water here, jump over that gap, and then you can walk off to the platform, and you've saved a platform cycle this way. You can get a big heart from that candle again. You can do this in a mirrored way. I like to do it that way, but it's not very easy. And then you can get a big heart that way. That's what happens if you miss the bat. Oh yeah, I guess you would just crouch here. And then at this point in the run, I would recommend getting long whip. Okay, yeah, if you miss it, you can just take damage and then fall back. All right, cool. I didn't make a save state here, did I? Oh, I guess that's my farthest back. Okay, we can get a long whip here. I guess you wouldn't always have holy water. You could whip, I think. Oh yeah, actually, if you wanna get a long whip right here, if you have a short whip entering the screen and you wanna get long whip, you actually wanna whip that candle as well, which contains an additional big heart. That'll allow you to get the long whip later. Sorry, completely forgot. Again, I'm not used to this because this is not the WR strat. Okay, that should be good. Oh yeah, also, if you're getting the big heart there, you can get a long whip to drop there, so... Sorry, I gave the completely different side. You also want to whip that candle so that the long whip upgrade spawns there. Very sorry. So whip that, and then try to stop time within that 2-frame window. Okay. Then you can get the big heart there, and you can get the holy water right there, or the long whip upgrade right there if you want. Or you can get it off that candle, which is honestly preferable, in my opinion. That's okay. You can get it there. Alright, now let's move on to stage 11. Now, if you're a complete beginner, these harpies will spawn in the right spots every time, so long as you continue to hold right through the screen. So you can memorize this screen and do it without stopping. The problem is... these enemies can randomly drop items, and one of the possible item drops is an axe drop. Which is pretty bad. You really want the holy water for this boss fight coming up. So what I would actually recommend doing as a beginner is just kind of staying grounded and just whipping the fleamans as they come down. And make sure to always jump over the bodies so that you avoid potential item drops. Turn around and kill that. Play it safe, make sure you don't get any items. And then once you're at the end of the screen, if you have at least one heart, you can throw a holy water on that bone pillar so that when you enter this screen, you have a double shot. Or you can get a double shot by destroying this candle. Now, to get over this bone dragon, its pattern also depends on how many frames have elapsed since the start of the screen. Oh, and by the way, I'm not the best person to just kind of demonstrate long whip strats for Fleaman Alley, but if you want to be fast, you can try to memorize the pattern here. But again, you'll be subject to item drops. You can throw holy water here, whip there, holy water here, another whip. Then I think there's an easier strat for these Fleamen, but I kind of do it like that. With that, holy water, whip that one, and then holy water this one. But yeah, be careful because that can net you an axe drop if you're unlucky. In reality, item drops are also depending on the frame counter, so if you kill enemies on at the same frames every time, you won't get it, but it's definitely too hard to learn that in a limited amount of time. Alright, so get a double shot off of this candle, and then you actually want to stall a few frames before this bone dragon. I like to do it with a falling whip like this. You can be too fast though, so be careful. If you're too fast, the bone dragon will go high. You can also pause buffer if you prefer. And if you want to be really safe, you can do a grounded whip. Although I think the bone dragon later is a little bit trickier to avoid if you do a grounded whip. The timing is a bit trickier. Oh, never mind, you just get hit. Okay. Don't do that then, I guess. So again, whichever method you use to get through this. Make your way to the boss, and then you have holy water, and we're going to do a kill that is similar to Medusa. You can get a big heart there if you want. The amount of frames I left won't matter for the boss much. If you have a long whip, you can use holy water from here, and then do again holy water and then 3 whips. Holy water and then 3 whips, holy water and then 3 whips. A different kill is to slide down, and you need to release right within a timing, so that you're hugging the last wall here. And then you can do the same kill. This is what you'd have to do if you have short whip right now, which you definitely shouldn't. You should aim to not have short whip at least. But you have to be careful to be hugging the left wall, because if you're a little bit farther forward, then the holy water will fly off of screen. And you can bag it off. You can throw holy water again after you take knockback, but you're losing a bit of time and you're taking damage. So yeah, if you have holy water, this fight is pretty simple. Now, it may or may not be worth learning how to do this fight with an axe. I'm not the best at it, but if you get an axe drop from the Fleaman Alley, it might, if you're comfortable enough with this, it might be okay to try to fight this with the axe, and then you can get a backup holy water in level 5. If you don't feel comfortable with this, which I don't blame you, this fight is pretty hard without the holy water, you can take a game over. So lose all your lives on this bone dragon. You'll go back to the start of the level 4. Once you run out of lives, you'll be able to redo level 4 and get the holy water back. But this is obviously pretty slow. I think this practice ROM might actually remove game overs, I don't remember. Anyway, I'll show off the fight with the axe. If you have taken damage, you can get some meat over here. I don't actually know what the best way to get this is. I guess that works. Hey, Doppelgator, hi Strumens, welcome. Or I think if not that, you could also well, you need to do some frames obviously. Try this. That will give you a hit though. But yeah, you can grab the meat. which will definitely help for the boss fight. The problem with grabbing meat though is that now this bone dragon is going to be random. In this case, it was nice. All right, make sure you have enough. You have hearts, plenty. And then I'll give myself the axe and try this. Did I just load the save state? Oh no. All right. Sorry. Sorry. Skip ahead like 5 seconds. Alright, axe. Sub-weapon. Cool. Yeah, I'll make a save state. And here we go. It's probably ideal to start in the center and try to use axes from here, which will stun Igor a bit. And then you can try to hit Frick with the whip a bit. You can whip this fleaman. It's called Igor to stun it for a bit of time. And yeah, just gotta do your best. If you prefer, another opening could be to stand over here and just whip this a few times, but you'll probably get hit by the fleaman after the stun runs out. You could back off at that point. But a lot of this is kind of improvisation, unfortunately. Whoops. Should have him here. Cool. But yeah, this is a bit of a difficult fight, so... Not necessarily something that you might want to do. Then again, taking a game over is pretty slow. So up to you. Up to you. Alright. Whichever way you end the stage, you can now move on to the next level. If you don't have the holy water by this point, there is a backup holy water coming up, which I will show off. Okay. To kill this fleaman, you can do something like that. They could drop a sub-weapon, but if they do, once again, it's no big deal. Because there is a backup holy water right here. This candle will drop a holy water. And this is the only holy water in the level. So we will want to keep it for death as well. So if you die or get another sub-weapon in this level, you won't have access to it anymore. And again, you might want to consider taking a game over and going back here, or learning how to deal with not having this sub-weapon, but it's a lot harder for this stage. So this holy water is a lot more important here. If you do have the holy water starting out, which, let's see, sub-weapon, holy water, and then I can reset the stage, I guess. You can do something like that. You can also do something like that. There's various different ways. I think this is the method that avoids item drops the most, just kind of throwing it early. I might be wrong though. I don't remember what the different frames around this timing are. Oh yeah, and this candle is also a big heart, which you might appreciate. I guess I didn't get it. Wait, is it not? Oh, I guess it's not. Never mind. Never mind. My bad. Okay. For this fleaman, the method I recommend is to just kind of damage boost up that way with a neutral jump. You can also, yeah, if you get a sub-weapon from there, no big deal. Get it back from here. You can also go up the stairs and just ignore it, but getting rid of that fleaman is kind of difficult. I think there is a frame window in which you can whip this while going up, like here. I don't remember. Anyway, that damage boost isn't too hard, and you have meat anyway later that you can just kind of use to recover, so it's no big deal. Once you're up here, make your way back up. If you have a long whip, dealing with this skeleton shouldn't be too troublesome. So like this. If it gets away, you can throw holy water to just kind of try to cover it for it. You can also just take grounded whips, try to bait it towards you, and then turn around and whip. There's multiple things that could work. Alright, for this screen, you also want to do another damage boost to get up here. The simplest way would be to kill the skeleton and then just wait for a usable bone from the skeleton here at the top. It can be a fast or a slow bone. It might take a variable amount of time. If you want to be slightly faster, you can keep the skeleton alive and then use this bone to boost. Or if you're crazy, you can... Okay, that's a fast bone, so you can just boost up in that case. If you're crazy, you can gamble for the task bone. Don't do this. You can throw another bone, but then this is awkward. But yeah, whichever way you use to get up here, deal with that skeleton. One reason why it's nice to just kind of kill the skeleton is because the skeleton, if you keep him alive at the bottom, after you boost, it could throw some bone to the top floor. So... And also, try to make sure you avoid potential item drops, once again, so... Try to make sure you don't stand on top of their bodies. Okay, for this section, let these fleamen jump above you, then toss a holy water right there to cover for them. If you need more hearts, you can get them from these candles. This second candle is a bit tight to destroy and not get hit by the fleamen. For this fleaman, throw holy water. Make sure it falls in front of it and not on top of it, so that you can avoid an item drop. Don't do that holy water toss, by the way. You can drop an item. So yeah, toss it in front of it, and then you can destroy this block for some healing, which I definitely recommend taking. And then move on to the next stage. Now, you want to do another boost up here. Once again, it's pretty difficult to just kind of avoid this hit anyway. I think there's like a strat. Yeah, you can jump and toss holy water like that if you really don't like it, but if you want to do damage boost, do it with buffer and then jump to get up there. This is about the earliest spot from which you can jump. And then 6-room window to get up to those blocks, and then walk up the stairs. I think if you don't feel comfortable with that jump, you can climb. Yeah, okay. It's fine. Don't destroy this candle, because it contains an axe, and you don't want to lose the holy water. You might be tempted to toss holy water at this axe knight, and sometimes you might hit that candle, so be careful. After you get up into this screen, get up to the top floor, jump above the skeleton. You can get extra hearts off the candles if you want. If you make your way down here, there's a strat here where you can toss 2 holy waters like this. That's a bit tricky. I think you can lose some frames on the second skeleton and still just kind of use 2 holy waters. Like that, just kind of throwing as you're landing. Yeah, I think that works. An alternate strat if you don't like any of that. Or if you don't have holy water, actually, this is good. Climb the stairs. And then jump past everything. And then you can continue to make your way through. Yes, Truman's making a tutorial. But in any case, after you're here, you can get a big heart from here. Whoops, I just tossed holy water. And then you can get a triple shot immediately right after. After you use holy water on an axe knight, that has the same properties as using holy water on a bone pillar. So it gives you all the shots that you need for a triple shot immediately. You can get it from there. And then you can toss holy water for this axe knight. If you don't have holy water, you can just kind of try to whip him down. Stand at a distance so that when he throws an axe, you're ready. You can always whip an axe, whether it's high or low. He's not giving me a low axe. There we go. So you can kill them if you don't have holy water, but obviously the holy water is much faster. High shading. So, okay. That's how you would do that screen. Now, if you're feeling like tossing in something a little bit faster, this spot is the only scroll glitch I would recommend even considering for the Big 20. Everything else, I don't think it's possible to get good enough with scroll glitches in the amount of time that you have here to justify even attempting them. This one is the easiest in the run by far. You would never see this in a standard CV1 run, but it's the easiest by far. It has pretty much zero risk, and you lose very little time for just trying this. So if you want to go for this, the way you do scroll glitches in this game is you want to get as close as possible to holding forward and then tapping right for 4 frames, forward for 12, right for 4 frames, forward for 12, and you want to do that 4 times. So 12 frames forward, 4 frames back, 12 frames forward, 4 frame backs, and so on. And the spot where you want to do it is right about here. You can use the skeleton in the background as a visual cue, or the block here at the bottom. Just slightly past the middle of this block is where you do it. So you can try this. If you get it, go past this block and check if any of these walls have been destroyed. If any of these blocks are cleared, you can jump through, or walk through, depending on which one. I think I didn't unload it. Whoops, I crouched. Nope. That definitely didn't work. I might also not be going far back enough, I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. In this case, I cleared both. Only one of them might be cleared. If there's a block on the bottom and the one on the top got cleared, jump on top of that. If it's the one on the bottom, obviously just walk below, and then you can wait to the end. This saves a few seconds. But you can try for this if you want, and if you see that you don't get it, just go back and go up the stairs and finish the level normally. If you really want to practice this, you can get the practice ROM that I made, and then scroll down up until scroll glitch and enable it. You want to enable it right here because there are other scroll glitches in this level that it will kick in with. What the scroll glitch tool does is, if you're in an area that has a scroll glitch and the proper blocks spawn, it will kill Simon. So you know in advance if you fail it. Let me enable it again, and then I'll make a save state just to kind of show you how this works. Yeah, so I failed it, so it killed Simon. So you know, you also get to know kind of where it failed. So it failed in the second wiggle now. Failed early. Probably need to turn around later. There we go. And then you can jump up. I wouldn't worry too much about this. Again, it's a thing you can throw in if you feel like it, but I don't think in the amount of time that you would have in the Big 20 it is really worth it just trying to obsess over this. But anyway, once you're through the screen, in whichever way you choose to go through it, now you have stage 15, and we're about to fight Death. And again, you really want to have Holy Water for this one, because this fight is extremely difficult without Holy Water. I'll show how to fight it without Holy Water. But again, you might want to consider, if you don't have Holy Water, just take a game over and go back to the stage. And just go back and get it. I'll assume you have Holy Water for now and show you how it's done. If you don't have it, and you really want to try to finish without it, I'll show you how it's done. Anyway, jump over this one pillar and throw Holy Water. Then Holy Water there, go up these steps, and if you have health, damage boost. Otherwise, just kill this from these steps. Again, if you have health, you can damage boost though. Getting a triple shot in is not important, by the way. A double shot will suffice here. There is backup wall meat here if you want to. You can get more health to just kind of be safe, and I don't think it's a terrible idea. Then you can neutralize this hallway by just throwing Holy Water at the X-Knight right there. Make sure to jump above those Medusa heads. Don't jump unnecessarily though, because if you jump at the wrong spot, that might manipulate that Medusa head to just kind of spawn high, and then it can become trickier to deal with. But jump over these Medusa heads, because they might be high enough to hit you. This one. And then once you're at death... now what you want to do is go past the middle to trigger the start of the fight, and then make sure you have enough hearts. If you have plenty, you can literally just stand here and just plant the holy water early and just spam holy water from here. I guess you can whip it here and there. This would be the absolute safest strat. I guess you would probably want at least 5 hearts. 4 are enough, barely enough, but a bit tighter. This is the simplest way, I'd say. If you're feeling like doing something a little bit faster, you can try to position Salmon towards the right side of this block. Plant a holy water right here, and now you can do this. You can do a jump whip and then a holy water on landing. But you would want at least 5 hearts for this. There is a strat where you can use 4 hearts, but I absolutely don't recommend going for that. You can get an extra heart here if you want, or at least try for a heart. And then you can actually jump up to... I guess that's pretty important. If you have 5 hearts, I think you do need to jump up and finish him off this way, so... If you have 6, I'm pretty sure you can just stand there and finish off death that way. A bit too slow. If you try to grab that heart, you barely have enough time to do this. I don't recommend to do this strat if you have to go and grab that candle, because then you barely have enough time to line someone up the edge here. Oh, that's actually... No. That's a tight strat, actually. No, never mind. Don't do that. Don't do that with 5 hearts. It's with 6 that you can jump into death with 2 damage boost to finish him off. But yeah, those are kind of your options. Yeah, I think this is the simplest strat. Just make sure you toss this holy water early enough. And then the position from which you can do this fight is pretty lenient. If that escapes, you can try to finish him off as he's flying out. If you kind of do this opening wrong, you can try to stun lock death on the left side. So toss holy water there, but then the sides will be in the way. Kind of like that. Be very careful around these. And then grab the orb. Alright, that will cover for death. Now, if you don't have holy water, I'll show you what you can do. Which, this is also kind of what you would do if you die here. If you don't want to take a game over. I just save stated. I can do this. Wait, no. Save reset stage, okay. Oh, I think I just whipped. No. I'm getting confused. Okay, cool. Alright, so... you can grab a big heart here if you're just coming out of a death recovery. And then try to get whip upgrades. Now, you want to get this cross. This is the best the second best sub weapon to fight death with. Be careful around this bone failure, I would just whip this. Try to hit enough things so that you get a double shot. Definitely get this wall meat if you took a hit. Now, when you make your way up here, throw across to the left and then get the big heart here. And then just try to just kind of hit these X-Knights at a distance. Slowly just kind of poke at them. Make sure they don't drop items, because they can. And you really do want to have the cross if you can. Try to hit as many things as you can with the cross. because you want to collect enough hits for double shot. Neutral jump would have saved me there. Okay, that's enough. I have a lower health than desirable, but this is still a beatable fight. I can show it off. Ideally, you would want to have much more health than this, and possibly also more hearts. So don't go overboard on the crosses, because then that will just deplete your heart count. Backup strat? What backup strat? Trisk? I think I read your message a little bit later than you sent it. Alright, so starting the fight with the triple cross, try to just kind of set up a couple crosses so that they'll hit death as it spawns. Don't try to throw this third one, because the scythe could hit you if you jump at the wrong timing. And then just kind of try to toss crosses across this fight. The great thing about crosses with this is that they pierce, and so they can actually clear the sides out of the way. Here and there. So just kind of take it slowly, make sure you're not getting hit by sides, and then you can try to finish up the fight. It's not too bad to fight cross with that triple shot death, or to fight death with the triple shot cross. Sorry, a bit confused today. Careful. And there we go. And then you grab the orb and you can continue on. Now, moving on to the next stage. I think stage 16 is another one of those stages where if you're using my practice ROM, you don't want to stage select to 16 because I think the bat patterns are different. Hey, Firebrand, welcome. Okay, for this screen, make sure you're never letting go of left. Hold up and left for these stairs. And if you do that, all these bats are going to have a predictable pattern. You don't have to actually whip this bat. I like to do that, but you can totally just go under him. So like this, jump, 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 then jump from about here to get over this bat. Like this. Jump again to bait that fireball upwards, which makes it easier to deal with. Then, once you're here, I recommend just doing a grounded whip to get the stopwatch if you don't have the holy water. If you have the holy water, you can sacrifice a heart to be safer. But that's how you would do the rest of the screen. I'll just kind of showcase it quickly. Then you get a big heart there and you can jump into the gate, into the next screen. If you have holy water, I'm not actually sure that the bats are going to behave if I do this, but we can try doing this. Reset stage. I don't remember if these are going to have the same pattern. Oh, I guess they do. Okay, and then you can use holy water to grab that candle, which is a little bit faster. Then jump there and jump from the edge again. Then whip that bat. Make sure to not whip it too close. And then just as the bat is about to despawn, jump and whip that big heart candle. Alright, once you're into this screen, what you want to do is hold forward. Don't mesh... can you mesh jump? Oh, I guess you can jump ASAP. But yeah, make sure to not slide off. As soon as you like... Well... I'm not actually sure you spawn in the same location. Okay, let me find out, because I'm not too confident on this. Just a second as I go through the screen again, and I'll make an actual save state. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so definitely don't mesh. Yeah, the spawn location isn't the same when you use the reset stage feature. So okay, just wait a bit and then jump. And then you can use that bone to boost back to boost up. If you don't like taking the damage here, you can just try to kill the skeleton. And don't go too far left here when grabbing these stairs, because if you go too far left, harpies begin to spawn. So make sure you kind of grab these stairs from the side. You can buffer up to get up quickly. But after you're up, you can damage from there and then get up if you want. For this screen, hold right until the skeleton starts to jump, or starts to go to the right. And then right about here, right before it jumps, you can hold left and jump yourself. Make sure you're doing that kind of quickly, though. Well, I guess there's a bit of a balance, because I think if you jump too soon... yeah, that happens, obviously. And if you're too late... yeah, okay, if you jump too early and you completely miss the platform, then you die. But this isn't too tricky. Just make sure you do this within the right timing. Then after you get up, this jump can be tricky, but you can try to jump up and kill the skeleton. Again, it's a 6-frame window. I think if you miss it, you don't die, unless the skeleton on the bottom hits you. Okay, cool. I think if you have iframes, though. Yeah, you just fall down here and they can climb back up. I think you can climb the stairs without too much of an issue, if you prefer. But then in any case, get up and make sure to deal with the skeleton. Be careful of the scandal, because it can contain a dagger. And now what you want to do here is you have a stopwatch. Get this big cart. Oh, I guess I have the scroll glitch tool enabled, because yeah, there's another scroll glitch here, but don't do this one. Disable. Cool. Yeah, you can get this big cart here, and then use a stopwatch on landing. Go to the right and definitely get this meat. I guess if the Fleaman drops there, you want to kill it. And then make your way down. Remind you of that, then I forgot myself. Well then. But yeah, definitely get this meat. And then make your way down. If you don't have the stopwatch, things will get more hectic. But you definitely still want to get this meat. And then once you've done that, for the next screen, you should still have hearts. I just got hit myself, but it's okay. And then use another stopwatch here to freeze all those harpies in place. And then make your way up. If you don't have the stopwatch, these harpies can have two patterns. One where the first harpy comes from the left, and one where the first harpy comes from the right. If the first harpy comes from the left, you can just jump off and whip cancel like this. And then make your way up, wait for this first harpy, wait for the second harpy, make your way up, turn around and kill this harpy, and then walk up. Or if you want to be a bit faster, you can whip this harpy while on stairs. There's another pattern, which I'll try to get. If the harpy comes from the right, here we go. This is a little bit trickier. Walk until here, so that you also spawn the second harpy. Then crouch and turn around and kill these two fleamen. A little bit faster. Or a little bit slower, rather. Then as soon as that second harpy flies off screen, walk off and start climbing the stairs. And if you do this fast enough, you can just hold left and make it in between them. And then you have to crouch and turn around to kill that harpy. You can't kill it while on stairs. If you don't feel comfortable squeezing in between those harpies, I'm not sure you can wait. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is actually possible on this pattern. Yeah, because then this Fleaman gets in the way. I guess I barely dodged it. But yeah, this is definitely harder. If you prefer, you can try to watch for the pattern and just reset the screen until you see a Harpy coming from the left. Which may take a while. Okay, there we go. And then this is easier. If you're fast enough, you can actually avoid that whip. But... in any case, grab this big cart. You can jump forward, which I don't recommend because it's easy to miss it. So as soon as you get on top of the stairs, just do a neutral jump into a whip. Then walk forward and get the big cart. And now we're on to Dracula. This is arguably the hardest part of the run. I would definitely recommend spending some time practicing this. So he again is also... he's a function of both RNG and numbers of frames that have elapsed since the start of the screen, so the room timer. So make sure you're holding left and not losing any frames throughout this room. You want to get this cross from this candle. Then this big card right here, if you have a long whip, you can get potentially a small heart here. And then whip that candle and that candle only. Leave all the other candles up. Now, if you... I would recommend trying this opening. This is a bit tricky because Dracula can start with two possible patterns. But what you would do is, as soon as he spawns, jump and throw a cross on landing so that it hits at his neck, basically. And you also want to destroy that candle, which will drop a double shot. Hitting Dracula at his neck will give you the amount of hits that you would need to get a multiplier. So you can get a double shot this way. And now Dracula has both a slow pattern and a fast pattern. This is the fast pattern, in which you hopefully want to jump above the fireballs. And this is the reason why this strat is a little bit difficult. You have to kind of be ready to react. If you see Dracula opens escape, then be ready to just kind of jump above his fireballs. You might need to delay your jump a little bit. However you're doing it, just make sure you're jumping above it. If he waits to open the cape, then you might want to jump ASAP to just kind of bait his fireball upwards instead. I'm not getting it. Oh yeah, Laxus, good point. Don't pause the game in this room. Don't pause the game while making save states, because that'll ruin his patterns. True. Thank you for the reminder. I'm not getting the slow pattern. I'm not getting it. Come on, I want to show it off. Okay, we'll make a save state here, sure. Because I do want to showcase what you do on both. Because the fight actually branches out after the two patterns. Yeah, chat not trolling for once. Oh goodness, it's definitely not seeded. You can get a different pattern off the same save state. Okay, there we go. That's the slow pattern. So once you get... I'll show off what you do on both. If you get this slow pattern, collect this double shot, then walk left to spawn Dracula to your left. He'll try to spawn above you. Then go back right, and jump and whip him twice. And then you can do this on the third cycle to deal a lot more damage. So once again, collect the double shot. Do this. And you can throw crosses this way. And now he has very little health left. He only has 2 cycles left. And I'll spawn on your right and you can... spawn there on the left, so long as you stand about there. Dracula's spawn locations depend on how many frames have elapsed since the start of the screen. So again, the room timer, which is why the fight diverges after you go through the first cycle, because those attacks have different speeds, so that will affect the spawn locations. And also Simon's position. So long as you stand here, he'll be on the left. Make sure Dracula is spawning right below that far left candle, so that the cross deals an additional hit point of damage. Then throw the cross. And then for the first cycle, it's going to be on your left. And then for the fifth, it's going to be on your right. So long as you're towards the center of the room. I think there might be a little bit of more variance on the fourth and fifth spawns. Oh yeah, because the third attack also can have a different amount of attack speed. I think it's mostly the same spawns though. Just in general, as a rule of thumb for this fight, what you want to do is alternate Samus's movement between walking to the right and walking to the left. So I've kind of lost track, but let me. I can do it starting from the fourth cycle. If this fight goes off script. Which it definitely can go. It's okay. Walk right for this spawn. Next spawn you want to walk left. And you can try to just hit him once per cycle if you want to be really safe. Then walk right. Then walk left. Then walk right. This should be pretty reliable. Walk left. And there, you have an opportunity to whip him once after you jump over his fireballs. I lost track of what my last movement was. In any case, this should be pretty reliable if the fight goes off script. But yeah, that's how you do the first phase with this pattern. Try to avoid standing at the edge of the screen like that, because then you can easily get hit by fireballs. If you're not feeling safe about this second cycle, you can also just hit him once. You can still get a fight cycle this way, potentially. In which case I didn't, but we can just go to a sixth cycle, move right here, and hit him here. There we go. Now, for the fast pattern. This is a little bit different. Just grab the double shot and stay here. Dracula is going to be on your left. Then you can hit him twice. I actually like to jump forward here, and then jump, and then you can do the same thing. Or wait, you cannot. Can you? I forgot, it's been a while. Maybe it was... Maybe it was... Like this, okay. Yeah, you want to be a little bit farther right. Scrolling off the left side of the screen. Okay, yeah. Because you want to be a little bit farther right, basically. Because once you get left enough, you'll start spawning on your right. I think if you're over here. No, a little bit farther left even. Okay, there it is. That's a right spawn now. Okay, so I guess this should work. Just throw the cross now and then wait to jump forward. So just kind of be careful of that. And then for the first, fourth, and fifth cycle again, he's going to be on your left and then on your right. And then you can get a fast cycle that way as well. Okay, so 1, 2, stay here. Make sure you don't go left quickly enough or too quickly. Then do that, and then you can kill him on the fifth cycle. Okay, now if you did all of that properly, on the third cycle you should collect the holy water, which is going to be useful for taking the cookie monster down, which is the second form. I think I might have still gotten an extra hit off the candle, even with that spawn position. Okay, so we'll go through second phase. How you want to do second phase is just stand far away from a distance, hit him twice, and now keep holding B after the second hit. Make sure you're continuing to hold B when you're doing the second whip, so don't release and repress B. Just straight up continue to hold B on your second whip, because that manipulates him to jump quickly. And then once he's here, you can use a holy water and just alternate between whip, jump whip, and then holy water. This is the easiest way to go through this phase. And voila. If this fight gets out of hand, which it could be, you know, it could happen if you don't have holy water or something else. When you're at the edge of the screen, crouching next to him often makes him do a high jump. So you can just kind of continue to bring him towards you, and then once he's at the edge of the screen, crouch, and he should often do a high jump. And I also think if you're close enough to the Cookie Monster, he should never do the fireballs, which I know this is pretty scary. But you could whip him twice and then just kind of stop, wait for him to do something. And then kill him, eventually. So yeah, again, to do it fast though, you just whip him from a distance, hold B on the second hit, then jump whip and just alternate between jump or holy water. If he stands up, he'll deal less damage, but it's still okay. You can just kind of mow him down here. This way. If you don't have enough hearts, you can also just force him to do another jump and then make sure you're kind of hitting him while he's crouched. Now, if something happened on the first cycle and you have a holy water, but it's a single or a double shot, which in some cases could happen. So you get the holy water, but for some reason you're prevented from getting the triple shot. If you have a single shot, holy water, I forgot, okay, right now. One thing you can do if you have a single shot holy water is during the cycle, jump holy water and then jump again, which can help cover these fireballs a little bit easier, but it's still not 100%. Sometimes he can do a really fast fireball attack and he still hits you even with the holy water. Oh, grabbing the orb, yeah, because the big 20 timing is going to be on orb grab, true. Preset button you can get on WR pace. Wait, what? Anyway, if you have a single shot holy water, I would recommend just starting the fight like this. Just immediately try to attack him. So jump whip and then holy water on landing. And then jump whip 3 times. Oh, heard there was enough trolling. Okay, fair enough. So jump whip 3 times. And then after the third whip, you can throw another holy water. To reduce the chances of him jumping, make sure you're pressing B as little as possible. So when you're whipping, release the B button immediately. And then when you see him about to jump, you can back up and do this again. Oh, I guess he died. Have I seriously made 72 save states throughout this? Damn. Alright. If you have a double shot, you can do this a little bit faster. No, multiplier. Yeah, I think you can actually let him jump in this case. You can do 2 whips. Or I think even double shot is pretty rare, but yeah, to jump whip, jump holy water, and then just a single neutral jump whip. So jump holy water, and then just a single neutral jump just to kind of stall a bit. Yeah, this is possible in theory. But you can't go as fast as the triple shot. And then to grab the orb at the end, timing ends when you grab the orb. So you can just jump for it. One way to time this orb grab is as soon as the flames disappear, whip twice and then jump. Or just kind of react to the orb spawning. Either works, really. So I think that about covers it pretty much. I hope I showed enough backups and ways to recover from death. I know this tutorial was a bit long and windy, and I reloaded a lot of save states and I repeated myself, but I still hope this overall helps. Ooh, I guess there's one thing I haven't really shown. I haven't really shown how to recover from a death on mummies. I know I'm kind of doing this out of order, but I guess I can go through this real quick. So let's simulate a death. I guess I don't have a way to clear my sub-weapon, but that'll do. Oh, that's under 2 hours, okay. Bit long. Okay, so you have a leather whip. I think you can get a whip upgrade here. Oh, I guess in this case I'm getting a multiplier due to my circumstances, but I think you would normally get a whip upgrade there. This is probably a pretty tough spot to recover from. But you can take it slow if you want, just kind of try to kill everything for as slow as it is. Bone pillars take 9 hits with a ladder whip. Oh, in this case the bird dropped the short whip. So I can stay here, because if you get hit by the skeleton... Oh, he's not doing it. Oh, never mind. I think if you get hit by a bone, you should be fine if you're at the very edge, I think. At least that's what I thought. No, we complete this kit over basically all these scroll glitches. Oh, in this case it worked, okay. Anyway, you can make your way through, and then there's a few whip-only kills that you could attempt here. You could either try to walk down, get the health, and then just kind of kill them from the bottom. This is a bit tricky and you'll be hit a few times though. Most likely. Or another thing you could do is get on top here. I think you can hug the left and just kind of try to whip them when you see an opportunity to just walk down to this block. When they start going right, you can jump back up. And just kind of kill them there in the corner. Or even, I think you can even try to get them to the middle and whip them from here, but I think this is worse. Yeah, because you get hit by bandages. So yeah, I guess you try to bunch them up here. And I kill them. Nope, they escaped. Oh. Okay, if I get hit, you can just go back up. And that was a pretty clean kill the first time, wasn't it? Oh well. We'll just finish them up. Okay. I don't usually recover this, or you know, put in the situation where I often have to do this. But I guess those are a few options if you don't have anything to deal with them. All right, I guess that's officially it. I don't think there's anything I forgot about really. Hopefully. So yeah, good luck. Good luck running this game. Again, I don't think this run is particularly difficult at a base level, but I would definitely recommend spending a little bit more time just learning recovery strats and you know, how to handle the game if things get out of control. So again, take care and good luck on your runs. Hi, I'm recording a small add-on to the tutorial because I realized I forgot to show what you would do if you die to Dracula. So it's pretty simple, but there is a specific strat that you should follow. So what happens when you die, obviously, is you spawn with 5 hearts and a ladder whip, and we want a lot more hearts than this, as well as getting our whip back into shape. And if you just normally go through the room, you might get the whip upgrade, but you might not get the enough hearts to fight Dracula properly, and also you might not get the same pattern that you usually would on a fresh attempt. So what we're gonna do is go into the next screen, get our whip upgrades, get a big heart, Then go back into this screen and reload the room, which will respawn the candles, and now we can get more hearts. And then we can go fight Dracula with the proper pattern. So it looks like this. Go into this room, get this cross, get this big heart, then this candle, which gives you the whip upgrade, and then break this candle as well, which gives you your long whip. You want to do that in that order, because the long whip only spawns when you have at least 8 hearts, so make sure you break the big heart before you break your second candle that should give you the long whip. Now go down into this room to reload it, hold back up, and now you can break this candle if you want, potentially for additional heart, but that candle is the most important, which is the one that gives you the big heart. And then you can break that candle, load the fight, and then you should get the same patterns that you normally would. Okay, I need to slow pattern, so we're doing this. And the fight continues as normal. There we go. Alright, that was it. Enjoy.